this is what Tori's been doing. And he's got a couple other specimens that really are bothering him. This is his playground, but I mean, this wood, friends, is, well, it's primo firewood. But who wants to process that with an axe? Not many people. So, I guess I'm a sucker. Friends, it might be time to start looking at your boots. Getting your boots square. Like, this is the season. These are some of my go-tos. Friends, I might have a set of boots coming from White's. So I'm gonna smack these ones down in here, and I may send those other two back there because he's done such a fantastic job of cleaning this up. Be sure to say hi to Tori, and I'm gonna talk to him right now and ask him what he's got going on his channel. You guys might be interested in it. Hey, Tor?
Yes, sir.
When was your latest video on your channel? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Tell these people a little bit about your channel. You're on square, buddy.
Oh, well, hey. Yeah, it's just wild foraging, identification, and we go out and find mushrooms, we find wild plants, identify them, we do all the research for them, and find out any kind of medicinal uses or any kind of uses whatsoever.
Remedies.
Sometimes they're just dyes. You can use them for textiles, some of the mushrooms, right?
Yeah. This man, what's the name of your channel?
Big Toe Bushcraft, Wild Foraging and Identification.
I like that.
She's a big name.
She's a big name for a big man. Friends, go see this man. Let's make those subscribers jump for him. He's a very cool dude.
Here you go.
This guy, he was a little bigger last time I came here. Like, I put some wood down for him. I'd disappear. I'd come back and he'd have all this work done, and he's smaller. Imagine that, friends. I love it.
So good.
I love it. So, here's our game. Thanks, Tori. You want me to buck this sucker in the guts too, don't you? 2 or 3, yep. Bang, bang, done. So here, look at this. He cleaned it all out for me, but I think he's onto something here. Like, these two are obviously leaning out into the right direction, so we're gonna smash those down in here. And I'm looking forward to running this freaking saw. They're all nice sized trees to cut, friends. Look, like they are. They're very nice pieces of wood to cut. Now this guy here, friends, we're putting these down today. They're going down. This one's leaning hard over there. Look at it. So we're gonna smack that sucker probably up towards that bathtub. I like that idea. And he can get in here with the backhoe. This is what we're doing. And I'm gonna be sad when this truck goes away because it is going away soon. It's going to Morgan's. Well, I could swing those up here. And I could actually put that one, like an old bathtub there. Instead of banging it, friends, like he's got an old diff here and a trailer set up and springs. But there's nothing wrong with pushing that right here. Just right here. Instead of fighting these leans. It's always nice to bang, but look at that. We're access right in there. So you know what? I may swing this guy. I may swing this guy up here. That's actually not a bad idea. I'm right. He's eating some watermelon over there. That tree's coming right here. swamp cedar there, friends. So I want to show you something. Yeah, I may have hit something. I'm going to check the chain. It's fine, it's cutting. So here's our first cut. See that little teeny Dutchman at the back there? Almost a dead square hit. Little clean up there. And there. So let's do that now. Look at the tree. It bows out like crazy. So I want that to lay on that stick out there. Well, she's definitely got power. I picked up something though, I can feel it on the chain. It's doing that, you know. Right? The bow. Let's see how we do. I'll go make sure Tori's out of the way. You all clear?
All clear, buddy.
Got your doggy?
Oh, yeah, she's up here on the deck.
Friends, I'm just going to interject a little bit here on doing this style of, like, this log's got to hit the ground, right? There's a couple different ways to do this, but nonetheless, it's going to involve, you know, bound up limbs. I think I throw my chain up here at some point. But see here, where these limbs are loaded, but my point is whatever you cut off, like you'll watch me as I cut off, see that stub there? I take it off because now, as I go further down the log, if that decides to come my way, which it's going to, if those stubs aren't cut off, they have the potential of impaling me. So take them back to the stem. Don't just knock them out of your way. Take them right back clean to the stem. Trust me, friends, you don't want to know the silly little things that'll get you doing this. Because we're all going to run into this where we get a tree up in the air like that and you got to pick it apart. If you got a piece of machinery, just push it over, but you don't in the bush when you're falling. You got to get her to the ground. You can smack it with another tree or do something.
That thing just went right off into its lean. I tried to get it to hold on the far side there. I went way too deep on my undercut there, is what I done. You'll see it just drifted. Look at the holding wood. I tried to get it to hang over there. Look at that. It just was so heavy out. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's how bad it is, friends. This is how bad this. Yeah, I'm like way off, right? But we're in the setting, which is nice. Everything's here, right down the pipe. But that did not hang on the stump very well at all.
So friends, I'm one of them guys where, you know, in a hazard tree situation like this, where you know your fiber's probably lacking, you got strange forces pulling you this way and that way, it's important to get it into where you're going. But if it drifts, it does this and that. But in retrospect, I always think to myself, what could I have done better? You know what I mean? After the fact, you assess your work. Well, here I could have gone a little bit narrower on the undercut. I talk about depth a lot on your undercuts, your first cut, your gunner. Depth is important depending on what you want that tree to do. Sometimes deep is good. I went about 40% on this, which with a lean like that didn't really have to be, but it's nice to split the difference when you got a lean going. It comes off the stump quicker, but you can lose direction a little bit. So just some afterthoughts, friends. If it was like a shoot in the gap type scenario where I had no room to miss, I would probably have made my undercut not so deep and used more of the stem to stabilize it on its way. So friends, I'm just going to play this out because I know folks come to YouTube to learn how to do things. And you know, friends, once the tree's on the ground, the problem's not over. You're not done. And this is the stuff that gets guys, gals, women, and children. It does. Please hear me on this. It looks simple. You go in there and nippity, but if you don't have a way out, if you trip and stumble on your way out, your day's going to change. And it might not just change your day. It may change your life. So, you know, the internet is a great place, but it's also a place to really feed through and shift through like a deck of cards. Just be careful. You know, I'm not the safest guy in town, but it's been beaten into me that problems arise in areas and things you would never, ever think of. Just please be careful if you're using this channel as a guide to help you in your forestry adventures. Just please be careful. When you flip your chain on these long bars, you have an opportunity, you should, if you haven't tweaked the drivers too much, to spin it back on by bending the bar like this. You should do this with gloves, or you can cut yourself pretty bad. Huh. We're getting somewhere now. You just got to bend it enough to get it over. So there we go. Sometimes you got to get your tool out, but we definitely hit the drivers. Yeah, look, there it is right there. We smashed the drivers. So whether I can get this through there, I don't know. I did it over there. Well, let's see what happens. If I can fire it and run it through, great. Sometimes, great. Sometimes it's not a good idea to do that. It's just not. So let's choke it. This might not be smart. Anyways, this chain is not optimal right now. It's just not. But this saw, friends, is strong. This 92, I'm enjoying this saw because it can limb, buck, start nice. It's heavy. Of course it's heavy. It's a 92cc offering from Husky. It's going to have some weight to it. But it's beautiful. I'm loving it thus far. I can feel it breaking in. Friends, for me to say a saw is good, it has to do several things, and I'm about to show you a couple things that I really enjoy about this saw. Husky seems to have this auto-tune thing. Like check this out here. Hear that motorbike in the background? But this saw, it does everything it's needed to do. It's got instant throttle response. Whack! It's quite nice. So we've had rain and wind and not nice weather. The deer ate my oak tree. Show you guys the little tree I planted? Well, I took a shortcut, and you know what my shortcut was? I didn't stake down the little cage, and it blew over, and a deer came in and ate it. Ate it! My little oak tree's gone. But that's okay, because I've got others. But it hurt. It hurt. But I couldn't complain about it, because guess why? Because I took a shortcut. I didn't take the precautions to save it. So that hurt my feelings a little bit today. That's what's going on. Anyways, that 592, friends, I'm enjoying it. It's heavy, but its power delivery is wonderful, and it does everything a saw should do. That's important to me. That's why the 500 sucked for me in the beginning. It sucked. I didn't like it. I remember loving it when I first ran it with Donnie Walker and the Shaw and my boy, Ganj Hogan. And on that job downtown, I was like, this thing's nuts. And they put the bark box on there, and I was like, wow, it seems to like this. But then when it came to limbing and bucking small wood, I was like, this is garbage to me. This is garbage to me. Remember that journey we went on, friends? And then other people started going, yeah, mine does the same. That's kind of weird. You remember? It was quite a thing. And then everybody started doing videos about, hey, look, the four-stroking, you know what I mean? It's just so interesting to see how the internet works like that. But I've got one now that is quite enjoyable to run, and I had to squeak it out of Eric and the boys. I traded him my saw, I signed it and left it with Eric and the boys at Ripsaw, and I got that one that got sent back. So I finally did get a good 500 that does. It's still a little bit inconsistent. They do weird things, those fuel-injected saws, but nonetheless, I love my 500. I love it. It just really consumes of the fuel. A drink of the fuel, it has a drinking problem. The fuel, problem. Anyway, the 92 is a big, heavy, strong saw, which limbs, bucks, services wood. It does it all. It's just a tad heavy. So you'd have to be in pretty consistent big wood. I don't know about milling. I don't know if it would make a good milling saw. I don't do enough milling to be a connoisseur on a milling saw. I do prefer carbureted saws for milling. Just me. Anyway, I'm shooting off. Dad goes to the doctor tomorrow. Dad, I know you're probably watching this video. What a wait it's been, eh, Pops? And super good news. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because folks are asking. My dad is scheduled for an MRI. I think it was. Was it an MRI? No, CAT scan. CAT scan, whatever that is. On the 8th of September. So things are moving along for Dad, and he's feeling better about that, and so am I. Eh, Pops? That's good. I'll tell you about our story in the merge one day. It's a laugh. I think I shared it with some of you. Anyway, what's that, babe? Yes, please. I get some toast now. I love you. Thank you for being here. Choose love now, friends. Choose love. If I could say anything to you going forward in your life, I've been talking to young men lately. Young when I say 30s and 40s, and they're working hard. They're feeding their families. I get reached out to for some reason by a lot of young men, middle-aged, Daryl Powell, my buddy that I met, his family and his lovely children, and we went and helped his situation out in Nova Scotia, friends. Remember when we did that? He's become a close friend of mine. Daryl, your axe goes in the mail today, as a matter of fact. We got Daryl an axe coming to him, so fellas, the noble exercise we do, and I don't know about you, but the most noble exercise and pride-filled thing I do in my life, it has nothing to do with winning best boy athlete in grade 5 when I finally beat my brother in something, or any of these other accolades in my life that I've accomplished. None of them mean as much as coming home to a loving wife and children that you have provided together a home for. Right, fellas? We provide, we protect, and we do what a man is supposed to do. When I say supposed to, I just think that's what we're supposed to do. I think we're supposed to provide and protect. So it's a task, fellas, but remember this. It is not an obligation. It's not. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can choose to. And when you choose to, I will guarantee you this, speaking from experience, there will be no accolades that you receive in your life that will bring you more pride and joy than being your family's sugar daddy. You know what I'm talking about? It's deep. It runs deep. It's in the DNA, fellas. So find something that you can do. And I've talked about this before on the channel, where there's lots of men out there doing a job that they don't particularly like, but guess what they're doing? It's a means to feed their family and be dad. Hey, fellas? You're doing a great job. You are. You're doing a great job. But remember to rejuvenate yourself so you can continue to do that. I don't know what that is for you, but I rejuvenate myself in the woods and on a saw and with an axe. That's why my physical being is so important to me. It's so important to me. This video's gone a little longer than I thought, but I got a lot to say. So I'm just happy you're here, and this channel is me evolving. That's what it is. So if you can pick up anything here, it's great. I love yous all. Thanks for being here. Work hard, be honest, and be kind to one another. And thank you for the well wishes for my dad. He watches the videos, and he sees me talking about it. We got this, Pop. Anyway, see you on the next one.